What is going on, guys? This is Marciea here with another episode of Women Behind the Weights. I have a special guest today, my cousin, Major Deadman. We're going to be doing a Q&A session personally and professionally.
Welcome to the Women Behind the Weights podcast, where we empower and inspire women to lift both weights and their voices. Each week, we explore the incredible journeys of women who are breaking barriers in the fitness world and making their mark. Join us for insightful discussions, inspiring stories, and practical tips that you can apply in your own life. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just starting your fitness journey, there's something here for everyone. Tune in to discover the stories that will ignite your passion, uplift your spirit, and remind you that you are LadyStrong. Let's lift each other up, one conversation at a time.
Major, what's up?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. I'm super excited. So I've gathered 10 questions I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
And I believe you also have 10 questions for me,
Okay.
correct? So we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to start us off, and here's why. If you could, this is number one, by the way, and you guys are probably wondering, who is he? So this is the first question. In a 1-minute elevator pitch, who are you and why should people stick around and listen?
That's a good one. So as Marciea introduced me, my name is Major Deadman, a small town kid from Freeport, Illinois, who has been surrounded in the area with mostly athletics, has been majority of my life. In high school, I was very successful. I was a state champion, won athlete of the year for football, numerous accomplishments, great time, great atmosphere, and then jumped into college where I went to Ferris State University and won 2 national championships playing football there. I graduated with my business degree, and now I'm just trying to step into my own business, trying to create my own platform and create a source for the younger generation to look at and to lead and to hopefully grow myself and the people around me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's quite the accomplishments, quite the accolades. So that was number one. So now I'm assuming you probably have a question for me.
I'll go with
Okay.
the question.
All right.
So I want to talk about fighting.
Oh,
You know, I've been around wrestling, and it's way different than a combat sport than fighting.
Mhm.
When getting in that cage and preparing for your fight, what thoughts go through your mind as weeks build up to making sure you're the sharpest competitor and make sure you go with the sharp mentality of dominating your opponent?
Yeah. This is a pretty extensive question.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try to give you a Cliff Notes version.
Cool.
First and foremost, a lot of fighters would probably agree with me that it's about 90% mental and 10% physical.
For sure.
So I believe in the power of manifestation. So prior to going into the fight camp, I see myself getting my hand raised before it happens. It's like seeing is believing. I see myself being put in vulnerable situations, and I see myself defending and getting out of those types of situations.
Mhm.
So that way, when I'm in the cage, I've already mentally prepared myself for that situation to where I don't feel any sort of pressure. I don't feel any sort of dominance. So I think it's important because even though I'm talking about MMA, this could be applicable to anybody in any sort of situation, but you have to believe in manifestation, whatever you believe in. But a lot of it, again, is 90% mental and 10% physical. And people can say this to their fitness and wellness journey. It could be 90% mental and 10% physical.
For
Even
sure.
though you work out all the time, there's more to it than just the physical side. People have lives outside of working out. People have kids and whatever else. So for me, it's all about manifestation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep. Great answer.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Moving on. Number 2, what has been your greatest accomplishment today and why?
My greatest accomplishment, honestly, just being a role model for my niece and nephews. I think it's hard to, as a young person, to kind of be a role model for somebody because you don't know exactly how to or what to be for them.
Mm-hmm.
So to just go through my life and my niece and nephews to look at me and just be happy every time they see me,
Mm-hmm.
or just smile and laugh. I was at a high school basketball game the other day with my nephew, and we were sitting down just watching the game, and he kind of just leaned over and he was like, "I look up to you." And it was out of nowhere. And it like just, my dad always told me, like, people are looking up to you even if you don't see it,
For sure.
you know, or
Yeah.
people are just watching you without you knowing. So with being told that I'm looked up to somebody or I'm somebody's hero or somebody's that I'm an inspiration to it. It makes me happy, and
That's feeling. Yeah.
no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. And it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. So I just try to be consistent with that. So that honestly has been my happiest moment, is just being a role model for them, and then just anybody in the world that kind of just knows me and knows my story.
Yeah. I like that. Good answer. All right. So is it your turn?
Yeah, my second question.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on the sports topic. So I want
Lord.
to.
Ladies, will try not to bore you too much.
No, I just I want to relate this to business.
Okay.
What has sports taught you in business, and vice versa? Like, how does it relate, and how does it go hand in hand?
Mm-hmm. Work ethic, discipline, consistency. I think they're all hand in hand. They tie into each other. And I actually mentioned this on a previous podcast episode, because the hard days of training, if it's 2-a-days, 3-a-days, eating clean, typically when you're in a fight camp, and I'm sure you could probably relate, it's 2-3 months of preparation. And I'll back up for a sec, because for those that don't know, fighting in general, there is no season like football or wrestling.
Yeah.
So you're always constantly working around the clock. So there isn't like an off season in the spring or summer, and then winter you have your sport. We're training all year round. So it's about consistency, because there's times where I don't feel like training, but I have to tell myself I'm doing it for the betterment of something good. If it's to, be at the top 10, ranked top 10, whatever the case may be. It's really hard to stay disciplined when you don't feel like working out or eating clean on the days you should. So it's all about mental grit, consistency, discipline, all that. So I hope that answers your question.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Number 3. Who is your biggest inspiration and why?
Easy. My biggest inspiration is my father.
Oh,
my father has taught me so many things as a man, as an athlete, hopefully as a father one day, as a husband one day. He's taught me skills mentally and physically, how to carry myself as a respectful man. My biggest thing is, when I go in a room, I want people to respect me, and I want to respect people. Sure. I want people to understand, like, okay, this young man has great conversation, has great skills to him, has a great character to him. Yeah. So my biggest thing is, like, my dad has taught me so much of that, and taught me so much about how caring for people is so big. He's a staple in his community back in Freeport, back in my hometown. People gravitate to him about any problem they may have, or just show love to him and show that he's like really a father figure without being a father figure. Like his words really mean impact, and they mean something when they speak. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, I want to do the same thing. Like when I speak, I want it to be meaningful. When I connect with you, I want you to know it's for life. So my biggest thing is just being the best man, and my father has taught me that. So that's why he makes me, or I make him my hero.
Yeah. Shout out to Anthony if you're watching or listening in. Yeah. I do want to get really vulnerable for a minute, because I'll be honest with you, we are 2 African Americans speaking to a primarily not so much African American audience. I'll just put it that way.
For sure.
And we had a conversation, I believe, briefly yesterday, on how we can be stereotyped. So to hear you say that your father is your hero or inspo says a lot, because there's a stigma when it comes to African American men and fathers. And to hear that really speaks volumes for those can maybe relate that are watching into it.
Yeah, for sure. Me and my father have a very special relationship. As a kid, wherever he would go, I would go. So he did semi-pro football for a while. Every Saturday we would get up and go to his games. I knew every Saturday we were going to his games and watching him play. And I was able to meet new kids. I was able to explore different things and just watch him play. And he was happy doing things he loved, and I was just surrounded by it. And that was an enjoyment to see. So everywhere he was, I was. So it was a great connection, and a rare occasion, as you pointed out. But I just appreciate him for that, and I thank him for molding me into who I
love that. That melts my heart. All right. Moving on. Sure. Is it your turn?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually glad you pointed out about African American and the crowd. As an African American woman, what type of challenges did you kind of face when first going into business?
Ooh, man, this is a loaded question. Because I do have to admit, and for everybody that knows who I am, not only am I African American, I cannot bring up the other half of me, which is being a part of the LGBTQ community.
For sure.
And I'm happy to have a supportive community who is accepting of the fact But to answer your question, because of those two things, there has been a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, let's just talk about from a business perspective. There isn't too many in the community that I'm in that are predominantly African American. So I feel as though my standards needs to be withheld to where they're meaningful in a way where I want to be careful with my choice of words, that I'm respected in the community. So that's number one. There's been times where I don't want to say that discrimination has played a part because of the color of my skin, but it does make it difficult when you are in a room full of someone that is not of your culture or type. So again, it goes back to withholding and standing firm and confident in who you are as a person. So that way they do respect you
For sure.
in a way. I think I'm a good judge of character, and I'm sure, the rooms that I'm in, they're maybe shocked when I walk in, or even when they speak to me on the phone, I may sound a different way, but when they see me, it's not what they necessarily expect.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, respect is everything. I just feel like it's hard. It's really hard. I'm trying not to get emotional because believe it or not, Brittany's on the opposite side, and she's witnessed firsthand being with me different instances where we would go out in public and people think I'm stealing just by the way that I look, and I've done nothing wrong. So it's hard for me, not just as a business owner, but just as an African American in general. But I feel like I've done a good job with being a strong individual and not letting it break me.
Yes, ma'am. I respect that. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. Moving on. I think I was on number 4. We're on number 4. No, actually number 4. Yep. Life is about living with purpose. What would you say your biggest purpose to date is?
My biggest purpose. It's so hard, it's so hard to go from, and we were talking about this earlier, to go from sports into now you're in a life of confusion. So honestly, don't think I've found my true purpose of what I am supposed to do, but I'm gradually trying to learn what I'm supposed to do. So in instance, I'm saying that, being around your gym, being around just different parties and characters and environments to see kind of where I mold into or where I fit into to feel comfortable doing what I love. So my purpose from a younger age was grind from morning to night and perform when the time comes. And so after college, when that was done, it's like, oh, what now? Yep. So it's been tough, but it's been also an exciting journey. I don't know if any viewers are out there are religious, but I would encourage you to believe in God or to believe in something, because it's true power in the belief of your own ability, and then putting your troubles or your worries on God, because God will fix anything. God will make anything happen. And so I truly believe that, and I go every day, just talking to God, having conversations with God, and just trying to meet new people, step into new opportunities, and just find what really I enjoy and what I like. Yeah. And then I think over time and gradually I will find my true purpose in life.
100%. I like that answer, because we had a conversation about faith, and we're both faithful humans. I want to back up for a second, because this is not our typical podcast episodes that we do. So people are maybe confused, like, why are you doing this? I do want to shout out Elijah, number one, because he had recommended that not only myself, but Brittany needs to tell more of our story. Right. And that's when I had proposed this opportunity to you, and you interviewing me, and vice versa. So just in case you guys were wondering, this is why we're doing this today. And then I'm sure there's going to be another point in time when Brittany will also be sitting in this chair as well. So that's that. Moving on.
Cool. Question 4. I want to jump into more of the business. Being around you for a couple weeks now, being able to learn about your business and what you do. You're so open. You're so open with your staff members, with your clients. When did you and Brittany decide to be so open when creating this business so that everybody is on the same page with each other?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Number one, I wasn't always like this. Let's be very, very clear. There was a time where earlier on, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, this is before Brittany and I became business partners, I was just solely my own partner. I didn't have any partners. It was just me. And I had 2 other gyms in a whole nother state. I was doing everything, all the coaching, all the sales, all the cleaning, the maintenance, everything. And I found it really challenging to even grow. I just felt like I was in this hamster wheel. I was frustrated. I was stuck. I was plateauing. So after I crossed that bridge and I moved on to another chapter in my life, and when we fast forwarding till today, when we decided to do this, Brittany and I together, I told myself, I don't want to make the same mistake as what I did before. And we learned very early on in our business that we needed to hire mentorship. So throughout that journey of mentorship and finding a coach, which I highly recommend, everybody should have a coach. I don't care who you are, if it's someone to speak with. We were told that, vulnerability is something that you need to have as a leader in order to really promote growth, keep communication open, build trust with your team, build trust with your partners. So again, it wasn't something I learned on my own. It was something I was taught by someone else, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to correlate this, not from a business perspective, but from your own personal life, like I said, you might be, new to LadyStrong Fitness. You might be a veteran member, but just ask yourself, like, have you met or excelled at your fitness and wellness journey? And if so, that's fine. But if you still feel like you're stuck, you find yourself guessing, you might get questions here and there between breaks when talking to coaches, but you're still not where you want to be. Please ask for help. Go to the front desk. That's why we have our studio managers. We have accountability coaches who will help guide you through mentorship with different things and services that we have outside of just regular classes, if it's semi-private or if it's nutrition. So everyone needs a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. Kobe Bryant had a coach. Whoever. Oprah Winfrey had a coach. So it's just, coaching is so important. I cannot stress.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good.
My turn. We are on number 5, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. I see myself with tremendous growth. I'll go back to the faith real quick. I think God has put me in rooms to allow me to grow. I've been around some family members, good and bad, who have taught me, or I should say just crowds in general, good and bad, who have taught me lessons about life and about myself. And I've been blessed to be around you and Brittany. So, you two have a great mind to you. You guys have great aura and character, and what you guys are building is a tremendous thing. And so just to be in the room with you guys has elevated me and my thought pattern tremendously. So 3 to 5 years, I see myself just with tremendous growth and, again, finding that purpose and just stepping into it full-heartedly. The biggest thing is, like, I don't take uncalculated risks. I like to make sure what I do is calculated, on time, and then once I figure out, okay, this is what I do, I want to dive fully in, or I will dive fully in, I should say. And so I'll just say, like, just fully diving into what my purpose is. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure what that is.
That's all right.
And I feel it's all right too. So the best exciting journey is just learning along the way, learning what you're comfortable with, learning to be uncomfortable in situations, so it's all part of the journey. It's all part of your life and how your life stacks up. I run into a lot of people and I ask them, like, what their career is. And all the time I ask them, well, did you go to school for that? Or did you always want to do this? And sometimes they're just like, no, I just kind of fell into it, or no, like it just happened in my life. So I just feel like it's going to be one of those things where you just kind of like fall into, but when you fall into and fall in love with it, it won't even feel like work. It won't even feel like hard times. It'll feel like you're enjoying the process of creating your own business.
100%.
So it's all a journey at the end of the day.
You guys are probably gathering right now that Major has spent a lot of time behind the scenes with Brittany and I, just based on the things that he's saying. And it is true. And not that many people, if any at all, has gotten that opportunity to do so when the studio doors are closed and we're at home. Like, you're seeing how we're constantly working behind the clock, whatever that may be. But I say this and all because you've seen everything that we do. You're super coachable. I really like that you ask questions and you're always wanting to learn and grow, like you said. So I really like that about you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right.
Number 5?
Yes, sir. No, number 6.
Number 6.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If you had one...
Hold on.
Is it your turn?
It's my turn.
Oh,
It's my turn. It's all good.
Five, my
It's all
bad.
good.
Okay.
It's all, yeah, I'm on
So five, yeah.
It's all good. All right. So with business, you've been in tech,
Yes.
you've been in fighting,
Yes.
and now you're opening gyms. When did you kind of asked me like, what was my purpose? When did you kind of find your niche? When did you find like, this is what I want and this is what I have a passion for?
By the way, hey, if you guys didn't know I was in tech, yes, I was in tech. Like tech. So that's a whole nother story we'll leave for another time. But yes, I was. I have an IT major degree, by the way, if you didn't know. And yes, I did 12 years of fighting. So to fast forward, honestly, it was stumbled upon. This sounds so crazy. It wasn't nothing like, I'm going to open up a gym for women only. Yeah. When we first started, it was actually co-ed. And we had more women than men. I think we did a first 12-week challenge when we first started. And I think there was one male and he only signed up because his wife did. So let's be very clear. We weren't necessarily targeting men, but what we did find throughout that time is that there was a need for just women only, which is, we ended up there. That was the first half of your question. What was the other half? I'm sorry. Or what was
No, I think it was just your niche. You're finding your niche.
Yes. Yes. But the opening gyms is, okay. The opening gyms. That part, I'll be honest, I want to shout out an online mentor, and we'll keep last names disclosed. Is it disclosed or undisclosed? Either way, it wasn't until recently where we had a opportunity to do a consult with her, and she was asking us questions about the business. And essentially, this woman we spoke to is who I admire. I would like to be in her shoes one day. And I asked her, like, what is it that we're doing, not doing? And lo and behold, I was very humbled. I got a piece of humble pie because she's like, why has it taken you 10 years and you only have one facility? And Brittany and I were like, oh, we didn't know what to say. So I think that lit a fire under our ass in ways to where it pushed us off the ledge in a way, because we were so comfortable for so many years. But I also feel it's God's timing, because if we would have done something different 5 years prior, we probably would have failed miserably. So I feel like we've made a lot of mistakes. We've learned from those mistakes. We've corrected them. And now that we're in a position to scale, it's led us down a path where I'm really excited. I still don't know what the future holds. I really don't. But what I can tell you is that we're working at a much more quicker pace than what we were prior to that conversation being had. And now that we had the tips and tricks on how to get there, I think it'll make it, I don't want to say easier, but it was very helpful. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for part 2 coming next week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Women Behind the Weights podcast. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights from today's episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support helps us reach more women like you. Don't forget to connect with us on social media for behind-the-scenes content and to join our growing community. Remember, we're all in this together, and every step you take brings you closer to your goals. Until next time, keep lifting those weights and your voices. You've got this.